up, everybody? We ain't gonna be here too long today. But we talking about later today on Patreon in about 3 hours, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Gonna break down with music examples how the hip hop evolved from the blues. And this what else you guys are gonna get. This is exclusively. There's going to be today. We're going to talk about a little bit now on here on YouTube. We're going to talk about the things that I can't talk about regarding the music that I can't talk about. But on Patreon we're going to go deeper and play music to really show for those of you who care, for those of you who love our music, how modern hip hop is really a rap version of the blues and how they connect. I was gonna play that scene from Sinners, but the technology won't let me. It's like, I have it on my computer, but it's like on DirecTV, but it blacks out when I switch over on my program. So I'm gonna have to find another way to play that scene for you guys from Sinners. But we're gonna talk about that. And basically for the Patreon folks, for those of you who have not taken one of my classes, this is going to be an example of how my classes are. For those of you who take my classes, because I will be doing another class in September on the evolution of jazz. But I'm giving you guys a teaser on how I'll do that in long form. If you're part of the Patreon, not only will you see this lesson, you're also going to get a printout with notes. So I'm going to give you guys also a PDF with notes on the structure. And what we're going to do is we're going to break down the structure of the blues, and we're going to break down the sound of the blues later on Patreon. But for now, on YouTube, where I cannot play the music, but I can talk to you guys, we're just going to talk about it from the blues to hip hop. Welcome chat room. Welcome chat room. We got Germany tuning in. That's what's up. Mr. Smoke, Shayla, Brooke. Appreciate all y'all. Everybody's names are all changed up on here. YouTube gave me y'all, not the names y'all chose, but some other shit. So, yeah, excuse me if I don't recognize your name change, because YouTube decided to do some funny shit. But, yeah. Here's the reason why today's show today, later on today, is so important. When you go and search Wikipedia, when you search this new internet post-pandemic, even on some of the AIs, you hear about hip-hop being rooted in Jamaican rhythms. And that's just a flat-out lie. That's what made me do this lesson today on the blues roots of hip-hop. Because if you let these cats tell you today, they're going to tell you that hip-hop has Jamaican roots. Look at this. I just Googled it, and it always stops you at the Bronx when you Google where hip hop comes from. But it's a story that goes much, much, much deeper than graffiti, breakdancing, and all that stuff. The music and everything is what undergirds hip hop. It undergirds the rap. It undergirds the DJing. It undergirds the dance, the way you dance. And too little is paid attention to the music roots of hip hop. And when we do talk about the music roots, it's very easy to go to the funk, because funk is the primary music that hip hop samples. Primary. But it's deeper than that. It comes down to structure. It comes down to feeling. And another thing that got me thinking about it is this new um, Clips album and that new Freddie Gibbs. That new Clips, that new Freddie Gibbs is straight up blues music. Straight up blues. And like, let me see this right here. The Alfredo 2. And the Alchemist has been on one. He got this Freddie Gibbs album, and he got that Erykah Badu.
My own cash on deck, put a bad bitch on the plane. Soon as we landed, we shot for that Fetty. This mafia shit, boy, you don't understand me.
When you come on to the Patreon later on, you're gonna understand and hear. You're gonna hear how songs like that, Lemon Pepper Steppers, are really rooted in the blues. Because funk is rooted in blues too. Gospel's rooted in blues. Rhythm and blues is rooted in blues. And we got, as Black Americans, we got to understand the blues. Because through understanding the blues, through understanding jazz, you understand everything else. So for that reason, you must tune in to the Patreon later on. Live interview lounge, tier and higher. And you guys are going to get something. You guys are also going to get class notes. Okay? I'm going to send you a PDF with notes on how to break this shit down. So you not only, I created a PDF for you. I'm working hard for y'all. Yeah, ska and reggae are rooted in the blues. Trap is rooted in blues. Even drill is rooted in blues. Outkast, all that stuff, man. And let me tell you another reason why it's rooted in blues. Blues music was never like, you know, when they know you guys like guys talk about hip hop and they'd be like, okay, hip hop is too negative and that. Well, so was the blues. The blues was a form of music, is a form of music where we express our pains. We express our problems. We express what's going wrong in our lives. We express what's going wrong with the world. The blues, for the most part, is a very negative genre of music. It's very negative. Very negative. And so is hip hop. And that's another connection that they have with each other. But I'm not gonna be on here long, so y'all got any questions, call in 323-388-3315. Anything y'all want, if for those of you who are on Patreon, anything that y'all want me to cover in today's show later on today at 3 p.m. Pacific time, call in, let me know. If you have any questions that I can answer either now or later on Patreon, call in 323-388-3315. It's my contention. It's my It's my point of view that we have to really get to know our music deeper and deeper. And really the blues, the bass formats of our music. Because once you recognize that, you can recognize when it's being used and how it's being used and who's using it. would you say country music came from blues? Yeah, blues and country music for the most part the same. Matter of fact, the blues, for those that black folks used to call that, black folks basically called the blues country music because the blues and that's music people that lived in the country listened to. You had city folks and country folks, so all of it was called country music at one point when we were calling it. It was all just country music, country folks music. But when white folks came around, what they did was, the other form they would call blues. Okay, the black people they play the blues. Country is us. We play country music. When really all of it was called country. My grandfather used to always, say Muddy Waters. That was country music. My grandfather, who listened to Muddy Waters and B.B. King and T-Bone Walker and those guys, he was accustomed to calling it all country music when he was a child. When he was a child, that was all known as country music. Music out of the country. Old country folks. But you know how it is when white folks get shit, they can't share. They want to go ahead and relabel things, and whatever's theirs is the dominant, what people call it. When we listen to country music, it's just white folks' version of our blues. Dig what I'm saying? Y'all dig what I'm saying? So, some things that you guys can expect us to go over today on Patreon. We're going to go over what the 12-bar blues, what the 12-bar blues is and how that correlates to the 16-bar hip-hop structure. It's going to be very, 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 not very technical, but pretty technical today on Patreon. We're going to talk about the AAB format. And we're going to talk about why that works in hip-hop, the blues AAB format. And we're also going to talk about the scale. Yeah, Conjure coming. Do I think our efforts to take back our culture is making a difference? Of course it is. You see how they had to cancel the BET Hip Hop Awards. They're trying to figure out, they see when we're on a cultural, that was the canceling of the BET Hip Hop Awards and all that stuff is, even the Soul Train Awards is what's happening with Essence Fest. That's proof that it's working, because they're saying that whatever they were going to try to do by putting Africans in over us or and non-Black Americans in our art, they thought that they could have that and still have us watch and participate. But they saw that 4 million live viewers 10 years ago down to 333,000 live viewers now. They're seeing that this whole thing with them trying to replace us isn't going to work the way they thought it would. And so that's why BET had to cancel those awards, because like they said they're not canceling, they're restructuring. They're going to have to figure out how to redo this thing. Are they going to go back into embracing us? Or are they going to continue this whole tetherification of our sound? If they continue the tetherification of our sound, they could expect these same results. And I think they're figuring that out now. And that's why they had to cancel those award shows. You did? But when I break down later on today the Patreon, the link between blues and hip hop, you won't be able to listen to what these other guys got to say anymore at all. It's all going to sound like hogwash because you're going to hear it. You dig? So yeah. Y'all ain't got any other questions. I'm about to get up out of here. I just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all real quick about what we could be doing later on today on Patreon. Andrew Como, I know you're already part of the Patreon, so you're going to be there. And we're going to do a real musical breakdown on the connection between these two sounds and the greatness of the Black American sound and how even through now, this stuff is still alive, right? Thank y'all again for listening. All right. Y'all have a good one. We'll be on Patreon. You say you're gonna be there? For sure, for sure. Salute Renee Rock. You're right. But yeah, I'll holler at y'all.